Hey, welcome back to Smokescreen, the variety show. This topic we're going to do is a little different. I am on a website called conversationstarters.com. And there's the four of us here. I'm Dan.
Tom.
Tony.
Craig.
And we're just going to kind of fire through some questions and see where that leads us. It's a very loose kind of outline here. So first question is, what qualities do you value most in a friend? Craig, why don't you start us off?
I always love humor. I really do. There's so much more. That's not a fair question at all. But Tom has just always been one of my best buds just because we just share this weird, unique sense of humor.
That's a very good quality, yeah. Tony, what do you think?
I can't put a single word to it, but it's the ability to be with somebody in complete silence when you don't need to have a conversation. Just enjoy being together.
Tom,
I would lean toward humor or sensibility. Generally, maybe ties into friendliness and sense of humor.
Yeah, I would go with muscles.
I want to change my answer to...
All right, next question. What is the first thing you do in the morning, Craig?
check my phone.
Ooh, very modern.
I know that's a sad thing that we do that right away, but I do see what's going on, see if I missed anything, see what my day is supposed to be.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tony?
I wake up really slowly.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't do anything intentionally. I'm a
Does that mean like a ritual? You have a ritual?
It's probably out of necessity. I'm a night person. I don't do mornings, so I intentionally don't do anything.
Okay.
It takes me a while to get going.
Good.
I'm kind of the opposite. I'm an instant sort of waker-upper, generally really early this time of year. But lately, our little dog who's resting over there, she'll scratch at the side of the bed, and I get up and try to get her resettled down, and then I probably make my coffee. I guess is the first thing I do. How about you?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Checks his muscles.
Just get out there, get ripped and swell. No, first thing, when I wake up, I'm up. I don't, my wife Grace, she takes a little bit. She's kind of groggy. Like when I'm up, I'm like, bam, let's go. Mm-hmm. And so I guess if we ever have an intruder, it's on
ready.
But I'd say I have the phone next to me, so I probably check what time it is, and then I'll just start like looking at the news topics, and kind of start waking up before
You're on your phone as well.
Yeah.
Before we get to our next question, are you hoping that we give some sassy, smart aleck comments, or do you want more?
Hey, whatever,
sincere?
Whatever. Because some of these questions.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. So now,
who's going to be the smart ass round?
For this round, who's going to be the smartest? Okay, so the question is, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
People!
Craig.
I would eat human beings! That's the only thing I would eat!
Yeah.
Oh, God. Again, not fair. We just did an episode about foods.
What's the
and
first
you
thing?
can't live off of sriracha.
You tried?
Let's go with... just let me die. Forget it.
Okay.
I'm gonna die.
All right, Tony.
The category would be seafood if I had to specify.
Yeah, I think you can go broad with that.
And if it can be kind of broad, pizza, any variety of pizza.
Oh, that's not fair.
Well, yeah.
That's
Do you
fair.
want pizza or you want seafood? Which one do you want?
I mean, if you're gonna go with a pizza is like a huge thing with multiple ingredients. I was thinking you could either have cheese. I think I'd have
Grains,
sauce.
yeah.
I'd have
Hey,
sauce.
I do pizza without cheese.
But I mean, because you can't, I guess you maybe could live off of, I've heard potato is one of the few things you could live for quite a while with just potatoes, nothing to it, just potato.
Okay.
But like a steak, well, do you want a T-bone? Do you want a ribeye? Do you want a
If you were on an island and you were looking to live, I would probably guess beans would be the one thing.
That's a good question.
That is
What would
really a
sustain
solid
the longest?
food that is healthy enough
Some
to keep
water
you going.
content.
What do you got against pizza?
I love pizza, dude. I love pizza.
You got to answer that.
You know what? Here's my answer. McDonald's.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, how about this question? If you could try out any job for 1 week, what job would you choose to try? Let's go this way this time.
start with you.
I'll start, if I could try any job for 1 week, what job would you choose to try? Boy, okay. This first thing, I guess NASCAR driver. I want to kind of.
Oh, that's good.
I wonder what that would feel like to go that fast, and like get all harnessed in there and everything? Because it looks like a lot of fun, but I mean, going 80 on the highway 41 is nothing compared to what these guys are doing. How about you?
Similar, maybe like a airline pilot or a fighter jet, maybe more of a fighter jet pilot, and give that a whirl for a week, and then get my wings. And
Nice.
Tony?
I always wanted to be a gravedigger in a chiffon dress, but
That's the smart ass
That
answer for the time.
Ding, ding, ding. We
Or
found
is that a song lyric that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, it could be a song lyric.
Pete Seeger wrote that. I think I might go with physician.
Wow. Wow. I would probably want to work at a Walmart for no, I'm kidding. I would want to I would want to be the president for a week.
Wow.
And I would
Yeah.
hope to God I could make something happen in that amount of time. I just don't
Good
know
luck.
if you can.
my gosh.
But
Most
to
guys
me,
can't do anything in 4 years.
well, I
so
know,
a week is,
That's the most frustrating part about it. But if you could get some things in the right direction, that would be really
Yeah.
helpful.
I like that. Okay. Good question here. What do you think your life will look like in 10 years? Tony, what do you think? 10 years?
I've been working toward being much more adventurous.
Okay.
Realizing the adventures that I wished I would have taken when I was younger. So I'm going to just start doing stuff.
Okay.
I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to do it.
I like that. All right. Craig, you look like you're lost in
I think
contemplation.
that's a beautiful answer, Tony. I really
Mhm.
do. And it's like there's such a question mark in my head as far as where things will be in 10 years. I mean, my position, my job is going really well. My health is not really where it was prior to pandemic, but it still is where I should be, I guess, health-wise. I'd like to be healthier. But I would hope
Eat more
that
beans.
I would hope, yeah, no kidding. We need to eat more beans. I would hope that I would be able to get more things accomplished in that amount of time. That's really what I'd want to see, twice as many products or projects finished that
Yeah.
I've started.
Tom, what are you thinking?
Yeah, I got a lot of projects to do, but more specifically, I would like to find myself and my wife who's walking around the kitchen, like living in a warmer climate or having the opportunity to winter in a warmer climate, whether we're working or not working. Just winters, I love Wisconsin, but winters just get a little drudgery after so many years of
Is that
winters.
legit? That's something you really would like to do?
I would like to have got.
Bonnie, do you want to move to another warm place too?
You can say yes.
Yes, I would like that.
Awesome. I didn't
First
know
time
that.
Ron's been on the show.
Not California.
I love California.
Would you want to go to Florida? Really?
That's
Well, it's more
That's
affordable. We'd,
more
affordable.
we'd be super poor in Florida, but we'd be extremely poor in California.
California.
Oh,
I
man.
didn't know that. Can you guys have visitors? Sure. I know where I'm going to be in 10 years.
Wow. Well, yeah, you
At
guys
least-
all took a very,
During the winter.
Real philosophical.
yeah, very philosophical. I mean, the first thing when I saw that question was like, I hope that I'm like kind of mid-level in the army of the human versus the AI.
Oh, there you go.
Because I'm pretty sure that
That's
it's
pretty
going to be
philosophical.
dystopian and, hopefully not Mad Max, but
Let's try to get it, not mid-level.
yeah, you think?
Let's
That'd be
try to
top
get
dog.
higher.
You know what? I should have at least my own brigade.
There you go.
Well, yeah.
But,
Be real nice to him right now.
for sure, 10 years from now, it's going to be crazy what technology is saying.
He was polite to us.
Be polite to your phone right now. I love you
He
from.
was polite to his phone.
Good question. Well, we'll open this up. What was the last picture? No, let's do this. No, let's not do that question. That's dumb. We already did that one.
Oh, man.
Remember that.
Now we
Ooh,
we're at low level.
Philosophical question. Okay. Would you rather be the smartest moron or the dumbest genius?
I don't understand the question.
I don't really either.
I would totally want to be the smartest or
That's
the
open to
dumbest
anyone.
genius. The dumbest of the genius is still at the top of the heap.
Okay.
The smartest moron is way down there, but he's not going to know. They might be happy as heck. And
Yeah.
I think sometimes we disregard happiness for what we think is going to be a better life. But happiness is not to be underrated, and contentment on that same level too.
I think that's a good point. Let's make it even a more serious topic. Like, do you think ignorance is bliss. Do you think that if you become too critical, thinking that, wow, life is a trudge, life as a
can become
compose.
that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think you
You
answered.
think the village
I think you
idiot is the
answered your
happiest
own-
person?
Well, each of those has pressures of its own. I'd have a hard time deciding on which of those two I'd want to be, because there's a lot of pressure in both of those.
That's
I
true.
like the ignorance is bliss. I do a lot of very, not mundane, but like non-intellectual things that bring me joy. Gardening maybe is a little bit of a tie into that, but I'm happy to sit and kind of do nothing on rare occasion. And it's just like school where other people are analyzing and worrying, and it's like,
I understand that.
I have
Yeah.
I have a problem. It's hard to sit too long without wanting to do a project. Like if I'm sitting outside and I'm just like,
Oh, I
well, I
feel
wonder if I
guilty.
took some branches, like, but I could make some kind of cool sculpture. You know, like that's what I'm thinking. I can't turn it off.
You know, and you guys talk about ignorance is bliss concept. We can no longer reach that ignorance level because we already know what's going on.
Yeah.
So if you come into this as the village idiot, that's one thing. If you come into this as, the dumbest genius, it's a whole nother thing to think about.
It's interesting. All
We're
right.
already the dumbest geniuses, guys. Let's face it.
Let's find. Okay. This is going to be a good question to end it on. The question is, do you believe in an afterlife? I'm going to open this up to Tom.
no, not really.
Okay.
Short answer.
Short answer.
Yes.
Short answer.
I'm going to say yes as well, and I have reasons behind it.
Okay. And my short answer would be no. Lonnie, what's your short answer?
Yes.
Okay.
But now, if we could expand, are we talking religious, or are we talking what's it when people think they had a previous life? Not
Reincarnation.
reincarnated.
That's a good
kind of
point.
different.
My wife swears on our wedding day that she had the biggest bout of deja vu.
Deja vu.
Yeah, but she swears that we've been a cosmic couple for whatever. I guess I would love my answer is I would love to think that, but my feet are I need proof. As much as I want to believe in Bigfoot, I need proof.
I when I was in college, I took a theology class, and I was terrified of it. I honestly was, because I thought what little theology I had, what little religion I had in my own belief system, was going to be crushed, because you learn this about all these world religions and stuff. And the thing that I learned from that was actually strengthening, because there are three consistencies within every religion that you have. Number one is that there is a code of rules that you behave to other people with. So that's one thing. Number two is there's some form of deity or direction that you're praying to. And the final thing is that there's something that happens to you after you're gone. And now, whether in like a lot of Native American religions, you go back to the earth. Well, that's something that happens to you. And in Christianity, you go up to heaven. And that's, that's a particular belief. But when you look at it from that mindset, and all these things are similar, every religion in the world is similar in these three patterns. To me, that's actually that's encouraging.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And Tom,
Great-
you
great
grew up. Did you grow up Christian?
I grew up kind of Catholic, was a altar boy, got confirmed and all that, but not. It was more for that's just what we did, just following the troops, and no, it wasn't based on any kind of strong faith or any bond.
Well, share what you can, because this is a very heady topic. But why do you guys feel there's nothing that goes on afterwards?
It's not so much the religion part. I guess it's too hard to get into. It's not so much the religion part of it, but it's the lack of understanding or the comprehension of how does that work, or how is that possible. Part of it ties in with growing up Catholic and then transferring over to Lutheran. We have some Jehovah's Witnesses that knock at the door every couple of weeks, and we're very friendly and polite to them. But one of the big beliefs my wife is very against is that, what is it, only 5,000 people get to heaven?
I can't remember.
That's kind of-
270,000.
Yeah.
Left
It's almost like
behind.
144,000.
Is that what
Is
it
that what
is?
it is? So there's a buy-in. Now 144 is a gross, 12 times 12, so I don't know where that math maybe came from. But
That's
it's like,
a significant number. And
so maybe you know a little bit more about that. Then if that's true with Jehovah's Witnesses, what happens to everybody else? Are they damned to hell or purgatory, or they just disappear into the wind?
That's really awesome that you say it that way, because one of the questions that I had for one of our priests, and Tom and I had catechism, like I was in catechism with your sister. I'm like, Father Van, will Gandhi go to hell because he's not Christian? And it's like, well, their answers are typical. It's like, well, he's going to be given an opportunity to make a decision right at the end. But I'm like, that's not good enough for me, because if somebody lives their life compassionately about the betterment of other people, to me, anything that you do, and this is kind of the code that we're getting way off topic, but I think I like this topic a lot. My code of compassion is that I feel when I do good things for other people, when I help other people out, when I inspire others, I am doing, to me, that's God's work.
Yeah.
By doing something good. It doesn't mean that I'm going to go to church every weekend, because to be quite honest with you, and Lonnie, close your ears, some organized religions are mean as hell.
And you're
And
talking,
that's terrible.
and you're getting into the difference
And
between
judgmental.
religion and spirituality, and there's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Two different topics.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going over there?
That is.
What's
yeah,
your favorite food again?
That. You know what? This probably deserves its own episode as well. Afterlife and everything.
And again, I didn't want to pressure you guys into saying things, because that's really a personal discussion.
Well, and
It's-
you asked if this was a religious question. You know, I just read somewhere online that within a year they think we're going to be able to download consciousness. Consciousness. Is that some form of an afterlife?
Exactly. Yeah. The next
Well,
10 years is definitely going to be
We're
different.
getting into AI again, Tom.
Sorry. I love it.
No,
Love it.
that's
Love it.
okay.
I love AI and everything about it.
Me
Art
too.
and
I had a discussion with an artist friend just a couple days ago where it's like, we're getting to the point now where originality is not going to be a concern for the kids of tomorrow.
Mm.
And I'm like, oh gosh, that's a bold statement, and I don't know if I fully agree with it,
Yeah.
but it's going to shift it. It's going to change it, because we can type in a command now and it's going to give us these things.
Well,
Right.
that's a whole other interesting question. Does Van Gogh live on in his work? Is that some form of an afterlife for Van Gogh?
Dude, you couldn't have hit on a more interesting topic for me right now, contemporarily. I just lost a friend this last week. He was a student. He was an artist. He was he had a disability. A friend of mine, and he lived his life in a wheelchair. And he had minimal amount of motion control with his hand. I went to the visitation before I came here today. I got a chance to hug his mom and talk to her a little bit, who was his everything, his world. And she took him to all the art shows, and he got a chance to do his own art. But again, this is how much he could move his hand, Dan.
Yeah.
That's how he
Just from the wrist.
when I had him in high school, computers really weren't that accessible yet.
Yeah.
But when now, he used the computer, and Photoshop was his baby. He could
Yeah.
really make. We would chat sometimes about how he would make a drawing, and he's like, "That's got 600 layers on it." And I'm like, "I can see. I can see that would have 600 layers on it." And he's like, "I can't believe it. That's just so much to keep and keep organized."
Right.
But what were we talking about here just a second ago? You were talking about that inspiration and
spirituality.
Does Picasso live?
does Picasso live on?
Or Van Gogh, yeah.
Scott will live on. His artwork is out there, and people who saw it and loved it and really got compassion about it, it's going to live on. It
That's life after.
totally will.
Yeah.
And we talk about legacy. That's leaving a legacy. And now some of us who aren't creators have a family that becomes our legacy. So,
Right.
and to me, that's another topic for a whole
Yeah,
other
it is.
day, because to me, my art is my legacy.
Right.
And
I
all
feel
the things
way.
that I've created. But it's a really heady thing. I hope I wrapped that up. Did I wrap that up, Dan?
Roll it all.
I think, you got the appetite wet for further discussion.
Roll it up and smell it.
But yeah, we're going to talk about this more. I appreciate everybody's input. I think it went from goofy to real
Oh,
heady.
we had
Yeah. It was a wide spectrum. I loved it. We'll do more of this. I think it's
Can
a fun
we-
topic.
Can we do one more? I mean, we got 5 minutes to make a
But
complete
again, that
episode.
was
I think that's a good place to
Good
start. I
way to-
like that.
good way to
Yeah.
go. Leave them on more.
So
Yeah.
wrap it up then, and we'll cut
Yeah.
out this gibberish.
All right. So yeah, thanks for listening. You know, we appreciate Lonnie listening and the dog. What's the puppy's
Little
name?
Peanut. That's Peanut.
Lil Peanut's been a little angel over there all day. So anyway, yeah, we'll see you soon.
Cool. Take care.
Bye.